Good afternoon, and what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 5th of September. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And here, a parcel to unbox. So let's get to it. See if it's going to... There we go. And... what I've got is Chew Volume 3. Let's crank this so I can read the... So, Anthony and Antonelle Chew are fraternal twins. Tony and Tony, as you will. One with a Y, one with a I. Tony is chewopathic. That means he gets a psychic sensation of the past of anything he bites into or ingests. Tony, with an I, is cybervoyant, able to flash into a vision of the future of any living thing she bites into or ingests. Follow them as they investigate some of the world's sickest, strangest, and most bizarre cases. Collecting Major League Chew and Space Cakes, the third 10 issues in the twisted and darkly funny series about cops, crooks, cooks, cannibals, and clairvoyants. Also contains the blockbuster one-shot Secret Agent Poyo, the most towering and important literary achievement of the 21st century and possibly the entire upcoming millennium. Well, at least that's what it says on the back. This is essentially a comic book series in which the basically Federal Drugs and Food Agency or Food and Drugs Agency is given a whole lot more prominence and power, and Tony Chew is essentially their star investigator, although he absolutely hates his job because he has to eat terrible things to get the clues. So he eats some fried chicken. He knows where it's come from, all the way back to the chicken and the chick and the egg, as it were, and how it's been processed since. And that includes sort of like tasting murder victims, and it's eating for him is a real challenge, and the only thing that he doesn't actually suffer this effect from is eating beets or turnips. Not sure about Swedes, but the artwork is kind of bonkers. There is a board game and a role-playing game dedicated to this, and I'd be interested to see both. But I would have thought that, given the kind of simple setup, that you can imagine that Chew is X-Files, but with food. It wouldn't be that difficult to kind of run if you've got access to these comic book stories. Now, these were published essentially a few years ago originally, but you can track these volumes down, as you can see I have here. So the artwork is excellent. You've got quite an involved and detailed story, and the sort of like the artwork there. I love this sort of like the image of the car there is just utterly sort of like ordinary and almost naff. This is the world itself is itself quite ordinary, except for these strange powers and the effects of the new regulations upon food in the country and the cultural changes that have been brought about by it. So yeah. So there is the whole thing about this, constantly about talking about food, about chewing and tasting, and then you're sort of like, you've got the nature of investigations into food, and the paperwork that's accrued from it, the administration involved. And just being inventive with the stories that have been told around that, and them. So you have quite a lot going on in here. I mean, this one in Major League Chew is actually is dealing with something strange going on in another American preoccupation, which is baseball. So we move on to the next part. And I'm slowly collecting the series, putting them together, getting them ready to read in one big go, I suppose. The rest total is 6 volumes. So, and then we have Pollo. And the next section, chapter 6, we have Space Cakes. I don't know what the preoccupations, the strange overview, you know, of people in bed is, but you know, it is odd. And here we have an introduction to Antonelle Tony Chew and her ability in usually biting someone to find out what his future is. That's yeah, that's not weird at all, because you know who wants to get bitten. So yeah, let's move it on. So yeah, so this is very much her story rather than her brother's. And here we have an interlude, and chance for Agent Pollo to shine. And even gets hell involved, hell and chickens. But Agent Pollo triumphs, of course. And then, yes, basically Chew and Image, in association with the United States Department of Agriculture and the British Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, with a disclaimer. So, continuing tales of Agent Pollo, which is, you know, utterly ridiculous. And here we have a mass slaughter of sheep, and Agent Pollo coming to the rescue. So yeah, so if you like your chickens, I think the phrase is, this will be a clucking good adventure. But you've got great artwork. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining story. You know, you even got a nice Tarantino reference there. Pulp Fiction. And it looks like we've got a mecha chicken there. Oh, sorry, that's the mecha turducken. Pollo, annihilation in Nippon, obliteration in the Orient. Pollo versus mecha turducken. I've always, the turduckens are sort of like, you know, always been quite weird kind of thing. But you know, so, but there we go. So, looking forward to reading this eventually. We even have a weird cross between you know, sort of like boxing Helena and the James Caan author film whose name escapes me at this point. This kind of situation, and then we have extras, of course. Excerpts, a script, and a gallery. So lots of, you know, entertaining artwork in here as well. Now these are available. You can buy these. I mean, basically, you can get them in sort of like single, sort of like short 6 or 10 issue sort of volumes to paperbacks, but the hardbacks you get all this extra content as well. So yeah, that is Chew, the Omnivore Edition, Volume 3. Which I think is going to be a fun read. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book, or in this case, a collected graphic novel, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. We'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.